he'd be willing to lose to anybody else but me, So the UFC offered him, a 7-figure payday, an Ultimate Fighter gig, this heated rivalry. The only reason I wanted to fight, Jorge Street Judas Masvidal, we got a vendetta, and it needs to be settled. And it's an easy payday for me, and I was willing to go back, but it's because of the way he was running his mouth. He was saying I was fragile. He said he was going to knock me out. He saying he was going to baptize me to close people to me. Saying let's fight in the parking lot at our old gym. Let's go fight in the parking lot of Publix. Trying to act tough at events in front of Dana, like, hey, I'll beat Colby's ass, this and that. So that's the only reason I was willing to go backwards, because there's a legitimate personal beef there. This is deeper than just a fight. It's just, this is a broken friendship, a complete rivalry now. But what can I do about it? He doesn't want to fight. He's scared to fight. He knows what would happen if we fight. So I got to move on. I got bigger business to take care of. I don't need to go back in the rankings anyways. I'm the number 1 welterweight in the world. I'm the number 1 ranked. And, frankly, I deserve my title shot. Marty Fake Usman, he got lucky as fuck the first time we fought. I was beating him 3-1. The next time we fight, I'm not going to get poisoned before the fight. In the fight, I'm not going to have Mark Goddard to save him and stop momentum in the fight. When I kick him in the liver, they call it a nut shot. That changes the whole momentum of the fight, man. And he had multiple breaks in the fight to catch his wind and regroup and stuff. And it was an early stoppage. I was winning the fight 3-1. I want my rematch with Marty. Jorge Street Judas Masvidal forfeit out of the welterweight tournament. It's only me and Marty Fake Newsman left at the top of the mountain.
Match for my last fight, but they never pulled the trigger on that. So I kind of figured out what was going on, and then COVID hit, and I was seeing the whole world slow down from COVID, and I was like, all right, why ain't it slowing down? So I was trying to train and get ready for a fight, but I didn't feel like much was going on. Nobody was doing much. So then I sat around for a couple months, and then I got remotivated. I motivated. It was kind of like, I didn't want to fight with the mask on and all that. So I just watched that year fly by. I was training the whole time. So here I am. There was nothing to talk about.
Considering how 2019 went with the Pettis win, and how big the Masvidal fight was at MSG, sold out main event, were you disappointed? Were you frustrated? Of course, no one could predict COVID, but were you frustrated that you were inactive after a year like that?
Yeah, I was ready to keep the show going for sure. It's not what I like to do. So I like to be active, and after taking the 3 years off before that, I wanted to get active the whole time, but there was also nothing really going on. And for me, anyways, and as soon as I got going, I already knew. I want to stay active because it's what I do and what I have done my whole career, and it works better that way.
Considering how the Masvidal fight went and ended, and what was
able to compartmentalize everything, right? You didn't see him overly mad about him having to fight a teammate or his teammate wanting to take something from him. You didn't see him overly sensitive in regards to fighting a friend. He was able to put everything neatly where it needed to be, and it showed, because at the very start of the fight, he got dropped. And as he said in this post-fight interview, that is what it felt like when we would spar. I would throw something, he would come back very hard. Again, it speaks to the mental strength of Kamaru Usman not to allow himself to go back to that place, right? Lord knows what happened in those sparring sessions. You don't know if Gilbert Burns dropped him or hurt him, but imagine if he had done that before and Usman goes through that at the beginning of the fight. Mental toughness is at a premium when it comes to Kamaru Usman, but putting everything where it needed to be and then going out and executing his fight plan to the effect that he did, just fantastic.
By the way, you're so excited. You keep talking so forward. Your head's getting cut off. I just want to let you know.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah, I want to see your full, beautiful face. Can I ask you a question? I obviously agree with everything you said. If someone walks up to me on the street, and I think any fan would say this and say, like, who are the faces of the UFC? Who are the biggest stars in the UFC? Like the first guy that probably comes to mind right now. I mean, I'm talking champions, right? Obviously, Conor is above everyone else, but as far as champions, like I'll say, Khabib still the champ. I'll say John Jones. I know, he vacated, but kind of still in that discussion. I'll say Izzy, right? I'll talk about Stipe, the heavyweight champ, always has to be discussed. But when you look at Usman's body of work, you look at who he has defeated, you think about those records that I just talked about. You know, I'm not a huge fan of the whole like put respect on my name. Like it's a little much afterwards, but I have to be honest, he's right. Like we don't talk about him as one of the best. We don't give him enough credit. We pile on when he has like a decision win over Jorge Masvidal in a tough spot where he had to take a fight on a week's notice too, but we almost forget about the fight of the year contender against.
Obviously, I was annoyed. This is the third, like I said, the third time I'm getting rescheduled to fight this guy. You know what I mean? So I was a bit annoyed, but once I found out the reasons why I got cancelled, I was like, I had it in December, and I had like lingering effects as well. You know what I mean? And so I was like, what could I say? I couldn't say much about it because I had it bad as well. So I think the main thing is health, right? And if you can't compete, and you can't compete, then that's what it is. And my next thought was, okay, what's our next option? What's next? Because I want to fight March 13th, and that's my aim, to stay on that card, and to compete on that card. So, yeah, that's my thoughts really.
So, you know, you say you're annoyed. Obviously, that makes total sense. You haven't fought since July of 2019, and this has been quite the saga. I remember, so the first time it gets canceled, that was December 19th, and then you guys were supposed to fight January 20th.
20th, yeah.
So the first time was because you had coronavirus. The second time was because he had it. And I made the argument that you should have stayed on the January 20th card and just fought someone else. Did you want to stay on that card, or were you okay with the idea of postponing the fight?
No, I went to the UFC straight away saying, okay, I haven't fought for over a year, so keep me on that card. Move the co-main event, which was Magny and Kisera. Move them up. Move one of them guys up to our main event, and I'll fight any of them guys. But straight away, they're like, nah, let's reschedule it. It's a big fight. Blah blah blah. But I was like, okay, I'll do both. I'll do March and I'll do January. I haven't fought for so long. I would like to be active this year, but they decided against it, and then they rescheduled it for March. March 13th, and I was like, okay, I'll do that again. And now I got cancelled again. I was like, oh God, but I'm not having another 2020 again. You know what I mean? I want to compete, and I'm fit, I'm healthy, and I need to compete in March.
And you know, without getting too personal and prying, I mean, a natural thing that comes to mind, at least for me, is this